honestly, I probably would play Tekken. Because I just did the story off stream. Because I mean, I didn't react to the main story, so it's just like, yeah, I feel like it'd be weird for me to do it on stream. Which is probably a stupid mindset, honestly. But yeah, whatever. It also would just been very bad gameplay because yeah, it was obviously the 3 DLC characters came out, and I don't have the pass, so Eddie was fine, but that's just because I know spamming the 3 button works very well for Eddie. Actually, Heihachi, there was some spots that I was like kind of decent with, but yeah. The rest of it was not great. I only lost once though, despite like not knowing the characters like at all. I mean, though, to be fair, I definitely was a lot better off doing this story than the last one, because I think the last time I did the story, I didn't know how to play like any characters. I think I may have played, like, that was when I was just only playing Elisa, I think, was when I played the main story. And so yeah, I would use the special mode for most of it. So yeah, it wasn't great, but I might have also been playing Victor at that time, because I think I did decent with Victor. So it might have been when I was like learning Victor. It was there and there. I think it was still when I was in like orange and yellow ranks with Victor. Yeah, and I also lost the first few games I played with Victor down there too. It's crazy. I'm in blue ranks with him now. I mean, to be fair, I think it's entirely just because of like rank inflation. Because if I were to look at like blue ranks from like a few months ago, yeah, no, I would be destroyed. Like, I would get demolished by them. So I'm pretty sure it's definitely rank inflation as to why I'm in blue ranks. I mean, I'm not complaining. I never thought I'd get to that point, honestly. I think I thought purple was gonna be my highest, so I'm happy with it. I can at least say I was in the blue ranks at one point. Yeah, that's the thing too, like, it's with Victor, where I've used none of his, like, plus moves except his running 2 sometimes. Well, I mean, because the thing is, like, all of his plus moves are in stance, which is annoying. Kind of wish they weren't. He had, like, 1 move that wasn't in stance. Like, June has, like, 4 at least, so, like, that's not in stance. I also didn't realize, like, her 1 stance is, like, a counter. I didn't know that until I was just playing against the computer and like she was just countering it. I was like, oh shoot, that's actually like a counter. I don't think it's a great counter because I think highs still go over it. I think it's a mid-low counter, which is like kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm just yapping again. I saw a few of the stuff from Ame's graduation stream. It's not graduation. I don't know why I said that. It's not. They also already changed it to affiliate on Whole Life. And they actually didn't move her down to like the alum section. She's still up there with all the rest of them. So I feel like that also makes it feel better, you know? The fact that she's next to all of them still. I can show it, but I mean, I don't know why it just goes to Indonesia. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. Yeah, I'm not showing anything. Oh shoot, but I didn't switch it over. That's right. Okay, there we go. But yeah, she's still there with all the rest of them. So I feel like that does make it a little bit better, you know? Also, good old, hang on. Yep, 7 poems. Perfect. Alright. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, the 2 names literally mean nameless. I don't understand how you got 7 poems out of that, but alright. Oh yeah, apparently, actually, Alma's now actually doing, like, pro-immigrant, like, stances now, and, like, actually attacking their immigration policies, which is, like, you should have been doing that the entire time, you know? And not October. You know, that was probably a mistake. But honestly, I feel like with the vice presidential debate, because it's obvious like Vance is an idiot and like Walz is way better, right? So I feel like, honestly, in my opinion, if he does not go with more progressive, like go more progressive takes or try to like bring in the more progressive like voter base, then I feel like it's a loss. If he just is gonna say the exact same things Kamala has been saying, except maybe the immigration thing, because granted I think that's been better now. But, like, if he's just gonna say the same thing like Kamala says, though, especially with like Israel, like, I think he's done. Like, it's done. That's how I can see Walz losing that. So, like, I'm really hoping for that debate he comes across as more progressive, like, tries to win those over, like. And also, I didn't even realize until I looked at Son like retweet someone saying that there's 3 times as many Lebanese people from Michigan than there are Palestinian people from Michigan. So yeah, you really should change your stance on Israel now. Like, really should. Like, before it was like, you know, I mean, you still should have, right? But like, now it's like, you really, like, you have to, basically, at this point. You can't just keep the same, like, you can't keep saying that at this point. You have to change. Otherwise, you're losing. Like, that's how bad it is. You need to publicly change. And that's even to have a chance still, which I don't think people would have much faith in her, since she's not really. I mean, unless they heard her, like the reports of her privately saying like she'd look into it. Other than that, like, yeah, no, I think it's really bad. Yeah, she's losing in the polls. Like, she's losing momentum in the polls. Like, she needs to switch on Israel. Like, badly. So hopefully Walz, like, they already have thought about that and they're gonna do that for the debate, and like Walz is gonna talk about that. Hopefully. Because it seems like she finally understood the assignment for the immigration policy. So we'll see maybe if they caught on with Israel and what they actually want. We'll have to see though. Because, like, yeah, I think it'll be a fun debate, like, for Walz' side, right? Like, it'll be fun. It's just like, you gotta appeal to the progressives, man. You gotta. At this point, you have to. You can't just say the same stuff you have been. That's not winning anybody over. Especially most lethal military. Like, literally, who is that for? I think even Republicans, like, they want peace, you know? Like, so, like, it doesn't make any sense to be like, we'll have the most lethal military. Like, it's literally for nobody. Or like, I expanded NATO. Like, cool, dude. Awesome. How about you expand, like, healthcare? You know? I did say it though too. I was like, I am still like actually convinced that in like a deep red state, maybe district, not like if they're up like 50, right? But like if they're up like 30 or something like that, right? Like 35. I honestly think I could win by just saying progressive, like, policy. I think it's actually possible. You know, I think there is a world where that happens. That's all I'm saying. How much did Walz win? Well, he won by 5, right? Yeah, he won by 5.6, and before, yeah, his opponent won by 24. So, like, it's been done before, and it's been done by the vice president. It's been done by Tim Walz. So, like, yeah. Dang, Arkansas was like mostly blue state as far as the household goes. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that changed fast. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's probably because of Bill Clinton. Well, even 2008. Near Salal. Democrat. Pretty much. And then it changed. Ah, because they changed the... Was it because they had an extra district? No, they just changed how the map was. Oh, I think they gerrymandered it. Okay, oh, that's great. Yeah, I think the only thing saving that's gonna save Sherrod Brown is the end gerrymandering ballot on the Ohio, like that's up for like to vote on. I think otherwise Brown would lose. And like it does suck too, because like the freaking like Underticket guys, like they're doing so well, dude. Like the Senate polls were like doing so strongly, especially after the debate, but I think they've started to waver again. And it sucks because if Kamala could just kept the momentum she had like in the first like 2 weeks or whatever, like basically up and like a little bit after she chose Walz as her VP pick, like this would be a landslide and it would not even be close. I think that's the thing that's so frustrating, is like this shouldn't be close. It really shouldn't. And like I know that like before, like when Kamala was first like stepping into that position, right? They're like, oh well, Kamala ran a horrible campaign in 2020. I just did not think that would stay. You know, I really didn't think it would. So yeah. Although I feel like some of it is her advisors, and I think her advisors are just very dumb. Because I assume some of them are like the Biden advisors, and like, yeah, no, they're very dumb. But yeah, they're also just gonna always appeal to lobbyists. The thing is though, because like my friend brought up like, oh well, I mean obviously like they're gonna lobby Israel, but like I feel like even strategically it doesn't make much sense. Because like you don't need that lobbyist money anymore. You don't. You have way more money than the Republicans do. Like you don't need that extra lobbyist money. Like you're gonna win way more voters if you actually like, you know, backstab the vote, like the lobbyists, like the Israel lobbyists, than if you were to get like advertisements out, you know? Like I think we're gonna be more in an era where advertisement actually won't matter as much, because people are gonna look more like what they actually advocate for. I think they still will matter a little bit, right? But like I think even like with this election cycle, I think we're getting to the point where like ads don't matter as much, which I guess that could also just be because of how divided we are as well. I like the ads don't really do much. I think ads would work on like a low scale, like a house race, but I don't know with like the president, how will that work? Because I think the thing with like house races typically is like they just vote for the person they recognize. It's like, oh, I recognize that name, and then they'll just vote for it. It doesn't matter what they actually like, you know, what their policies are, like what they believe in. It's just like, oh, or like, oh, they have this letter next to them, like, which is very annoying. Although it is crazy because like 2022 House elections, right? Like there was only 76, 26. Oh, I gotta do math. 76 plus 26 is 102, and then 113. There was only 113 seats that were considered likely or lower. So won by a 14.9 margin or less in house races, which is like a third of them, I think, or like a fourth. It is not very many. So yeah. Like I feel like you gotta do something about that, you know? But maybe I don't know anything. Maybe I don't know anything. Because like that's not great for house selection, you know? Like I think you're not gonna see a house that's gonna have like that huge a majority. It's like, what was the biggest one? 247, right? Oh, 257, 2008 with Obama. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna see as big of a swing as that. I don't think he will. I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, that's a pretty big swing. I mean, just looking at some of them, like some of the states that have Democrat seats, right? Like, just looking at some of these, like, there's no way it's gonna happen. Mississippi, majority Democratic, right? Arkansas, majority Democratic. Tennessee, majority Democratic. West Virginia, majority Democratic. North Dakota, South Dakota. Like, I don't think we're gonna see anything like it anytime soon. Idaho had a Democratic seat, right? Like, I don't think we're gonna see anything like it anytime soon. I just don't think that's gonna happen. They almost won this district too. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. I mean, though, like, we're in an era too where I'm pretty sure like they want political gridlock. I forget who, but I know it's like lobbyists or like big, like people who have a lot of money already. Like, they want that. So, like, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to show that because, like, I feel like it just shows that we're not going to have a majority like that in the House at all. It's honestly probably going to be like similar to how it was in 2020, where they flipped exactly 222 to 213, and then it flipped from 213 to 222. I think honestly it's going to be like about the same, like same majority. So yeah, because again, there's like no districts that are competitive. There's like 40 that are competitive, and that's it. Like, that's nothing. And 435, that's nothing. 26, 30. There's 37 that are like lean, which is within 5 points, which I would deem competitive. So, like, 37 out of 435. That means 398 of these seats are like pretty much decided. Insane. That's insane, dude. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's also just because, like, so many of the maps are gerrymandered too. And I think it is typically more Republicans, but I'm sure there's also some Democrat ones that are gerrymandered. Like, yeah, Massachusetts looks weird. Like, I'm sure they've also done some, like, gerrymandering shenanigans, but, like, I feel like with Democrats, though, it's a lot harder. Because, like, typically the people who are gonna vote blue are in the cities. So, like, you don't have as much area to work with as far as, like, how you want to maneuver it. Like, I guess you can put them with minorities, right? Who are typically gonna vote more Democrat, or, like, just demographics that vote more Democrat, but, like, that's really all you can do. Like, it's obviously a lot easier with Republicans to gerrymander. Because they can just, like, basically just trace along, like, the city or something like that, and it's fine. But yeah, I just think it's a lot harder for Democrats to gerrymander. Although I'm sure it still happens. Again, though, I think it's just probably, like, a lot less frequent, and also, like, probably not winning by margins that, like, win by 80. Because, like, I think there was that in New York City. Yeah, that's plus 65. But, like, also it's New York City, so, like, it makes sense that they're winning by 70 in there, you know? I wish I could see, because it just goes from the, like, lowest to the highest, and obviously 148 is a lot, so I can't see. I can't see that. But yeah. Wow, I like how both speakers actually are from California. It's awesome. With Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy. Both of them. It actually wasn't a whole lot of change in the House election. Like, that's what I mean, man. Like, barely anything, man. Sucks. Oh, that map, that one's gotta be gerrymandered. I would say Louisiana probably is the most egregious, like, obvious case of it. Because it is stupid. Because even then, this isn't as bad. Like, it's still bad, but, like, it's not as blatant of a freaking gerrymandered job as the other one was. The other one was freaking awful. Like, yeah, I think that is definitely part of it. Compared to, like, 2008. So I'm just sure, like, a lot of these maps have been gerrymandered. I mean, I do, like, I'm not gonna say it's entirely that, right? Obviously, but I'm just saying, like, I think that is part of it. Oh, okay, they were saying that was a gain seat because Montana, the 2022 election was the first one Montana had 2 seats. That's why they said they gained it. I was very confused. I was like, Montana had a Democratic seat? They didn't. They gained that because that was a new seat. Makes sense. Yeah, I think it's also, then you also have like the Blue Dogs who are also just conservatives, but like they run as Democrats. Like the white guy who represents Honolulu. You know, that guy. He's one of them. Mary Peltola, I think, is also the one from Alaska. Mary Peltola, I think she's also one. Which, again, is annoying. Although, I think I did look at it because they have a Wikipedia page and it did say how many they had. And I think that number's gone down, so... It's been going down. Yeah, the last 2 elections, it's gone down, so now there's only 11 of them. It's like, that's good. Out of 213 Democrats, there's only 11 of them. Please, can we get more out of there? That would be nice.
Shopify helps you sell it.
So there's 56 of them in 2006 and 54 in 2008. Good lord.
That we opened a store and need a fast checkout stage.
Thanks. You're all set.
That count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to Thailand.
And that, wait,
Yeah.
did we just hit 1 million orders?
Oh, Mary
stage?
Peltola is actually a co-chair of
Order
it.
stage?
Yeah.
Businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at Shopify.
Oh, no wonder why Maine's second district like this guy. It's because he's also part of Blue Dog. So he's basically a conservative. Wow. Yeah, and then she barely won, and she's also a Blue Dog in Washington's 3rd district. Yep. The debate, I believe, starts in 15 minutes, but I'm just gonna go my normal time, and then, you know, I guess we'll talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, I guess it's at least nice that it's on the Tuesday, right? So I can just talk about it, like, immediately following tomorrow. If it was on, like, a Wednesday, then, you know, it wouldn't be as great. Then I'd have to wait a day to talk about it. But I probably would tweet about it, you know, after I tweeted the other Hololive stuff. You know. I just don't want to tweet only politics, man. Because, like, I feel like when I'm doing that, it's like, what's the point of me having Twitter, man? I'm just gonna be depressed. But, like, at least if, like, I go to, like, a more happy corner of Twitter, and I feel like it's... I at least have more of a purpose with it. You know? Like, I can still tweet about politics every now and then, but, like, I want a happy spot, you know? I can also go to. That'd be nice. I'm trying nice. I just see like a. Okay, there we go. That was from 2008 to 2023. I'm pretty sure New York is like actually having a lot of people leave. I'm pretty sure. Idaho and Utah are letting people though. I'm just looking at this for like seats, like if there's any new seats that are gonna happen. Oh yeah, New York. There you go. Oh yeah, New York's been losing it for a while. Ohio's actually been growing population. Wow. I feel like I've always like thought that Ohio's been like losing. I guess it's just been very slowly gaining. Very slowly. Yeah, I think Florida's gonna have to be the Republicans' new Texas. I think it's definitely trending in that direction. I mean, I think for this election they'll be fine, but I mean, yeah, if they lose Texas, then like they're not winning any election anytime soon. Cause I'll just send it back over. Just and if Kamala wins Texas, right? We'll just say it's only tilt, right? She can lose this. She can lose this. She can lose this, right? And still win. Actually, she can do that even and have Nevada and still win. Right. You know, like that's how big a deal Texas is. And then like, and with this election, how it's going to shape up is they have, he's winning Texas, she's winning Florida. So now she doesn't even need, oops. Now she doesn't even need this. Right. She doesn't even need any of the swing states. Now that's not going to happen. But like that's how kind of big of a deal is if she got Texas and like was this election Florida, but I think more likely than not Texas is gonna go more left again, Florida's gonna go more right again. So yeah, like even just saying back over again, you just need to do that. That's all you need to do. And then all these other states would not matter. Now, I feel like if this was the result, I think Trump would probably win the popular vote, right? Because I think he has more states won as well. But, you know. Because I think she definitely would win one of these, at least. Of Wisconsin and Michigan. Maybe not now with how the Israel stuff's going on. So, like, maybe Wisconsin, right? Right, like a tilt Wisconsin, right? And I think you got like that probably. So like, and that's even like a decent cushion, right? So you can't have like faithless electors get in the way of it, you know? But yeah, that's how I think it would be. Something like that. Nah, Nevada's probably the one that would be more likely to go lean. Yeah, again, like if Texas were to go blue this election, like then Florida would also go blue. Which again would be a other demolish, like that would be a demolishing defeat. Like these for sure would be lean then. These would at least be tilt, right? This would be safe. This would be safe. Colorado might even be safe if it got to that point, right? Like if we're projecting like a Texas Florida victory, I think even Colorado would be marked as safe. And then for Trump, I think these would go down to lean. This would go down to lean. Actually, Maine might even be considered safe too. I didn't really think about that. Likely, I think even at large would be likely. Indiana would be likely. Kansas would be likely. I believe Mississippi would also be likely, like, and Montana. Like that would be a demolish. Yeah, 389 to 149. Now that's if there's a Texas-Florida victory, right? Which is not going to happen. Like, she's not winning Texas. I don't think she's going to shift 5 points. Even though I think... didn't I have a 2016, 2020? Yeah, it was a 5-point switch there, but I don't think that's going to happen in Texas. Especially since now they're doing, like, election shenanigans in there. Like, I don't think it's going to jump. And Florida's moving more right. Like, it even went more right in 2020. I think it was, like, one of the only states to actually, like, do that. Yeah. That and, like, Utah. And these are, like, very small changes. Except, like, California, it's a little bit of a drop. Same with Hawaii, but, again, very small changes to the right, except for Florida. Yeah, so I don't think she's gonna get a 5-point swing. Because I think polls would also tell you that. I guess I could see polls for, like, how were the polls in 2020 for Georgia? Like, were they actually saying, like, oh, he's got a chance? Yeah, no, they showed him leading in the polls. Yeah. Now, granted, these polls that have Biden up had him by some pretty insane margins, but yeah, it had him up in the polls, which with this current cycle with Texas, he is not up. Wow, it even had Trump only up 1 in Texas in 2020. That's crazy. Yeah, Trump's up 6. I don't think that switch is gonna happen, you know? That ain't happening. Even some of these are like decently after like the debate and sponsored, person-sponsored Democrat polls. Like, it ain't happening. Not this election cycle. Maybe the next 1 or 2, but not this one. Again, I feel like it'll be interesting how Florida goes. If it'll go more left or if it'll go more right. I think she's doing a lot better in Miami-Dade than, at least like when she first was like announced and like everybody had a bunch of enthusiasm towards it. She was polling better in Miami-Dade than Biden was. Like, I think like 10 points better, like double digits better. I assume Miami-Dade has Miami in it, so like that's a pretty big one, right? Like, I probably can look at the county. How many votes was it? Yeah, that's 1 million votes. That's a kind of a big deal. So yeah, because 2016, I mean, yeah, Clinton won it by 30 and still lost, but I guess Biden probably had a stronger showing from rural areas, if I were to guess. Oh, and he did flip a few counties, so that also probably helped. Yeah, Obama won it by 23. Remember, Obama just did better in the rural areas in general. He also only barely won the state as well in 2012. So yeah. But if she's doing better in Miami-Dade, then I think we might see like a 1.2 type of thing. Like 1 to 2 point. 1 to 3, rather. Anywhere in that range. I don't think it would go tilt, but I think it would still go lean. I think Texas is probably gonna go lean, even though like the polls have them up 6. I think Texas will probably go lean again, unless the like election shenanigans they're trying to pull does prevent some people that would have voted for Kamala or like a Colin Red, right? Like that stops them. But yeah, that's how I feel. I think Alaska's also probably gonna go a lot lower than what is projected to be. There was like that one poll. It's also weird because like I think it's gonna be a weird case where I think she's gonna do better in like states that she's not gonna win, right? Like those super red states. But I don't know what the swing states if she's gonna perform well. Like it's very odd. It seems like with like Iowa and like Alaska, she was playing very well. Now, granted, I think that was after the debate, but still, like, it's crazy the numbers that it showed. Like they were pretty close, you know, all things considered. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. Yeah, I'm just hoping Walz appeals to progressives and like changes, like publicly changes their stance on Israel. It's especially in Michigan now, where there's 3 times as many Lebanese like people there. Like you need to switch. It's not even like a, oh, it'd be better if you switch. You need to switch. If you want to win, you need to switch. And what's so annoying about this is like it's probably gonna be another Hubert Humphrey thing, where people are probably not gonna believe you, and it's gonna be too late now. So you just Hubert Humphrey'd yourself. There literally was a time in the past where this exact thing happened and you didn't learn from it. Like, that's crazy. And also, I think people would believe the more like, oh, Netanyahu and like Trump are working together so Trump can win, if you actually change your stance on it, right? Because I think people still would have voted for you if you just had different messaging. It's really not that hard. I mean, I don't know if that's the Democrats themselves doing that. Maybe when the story first broke, but like the people were like complaining about that. Like it ultimately is irrelevant because they didn't like say in their messaging that like they're switching. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm just really hoping. That's my biggest hope. I heard you here because the last guy got hung up and it's over. Honestly, what he just needs to say is have is like a switch in Israel, like Israeli stance on Israel, like a public one, and then it's over. You know. I don't know if that's gonna happen though. Yeah, that's another thing too, is like he literally like was destroying the right, like with the interviews and stuff too, and like he hasn't done like anything, I think, other than like interviews with Kamala. He hasn't done like anything, and like he's done rallies. I think he still has like said the same stuff. Yeah. Warning, don't play a drinking game where you have to drink every time JD lies unless you have a designated driver to take you home. I feel like, though, honestly, most people would do the drinking game in their house, though, so I think they'd be fine. I mean, there's still, like, gonna be a lot of alcohol, like, not an unhealthy amount, but... yeah. Yeah, it just really helped. It's different. I'm just being quiet because I mean I am looking at Twitter, but I also don't really know what else to say. Honestly, I guess I can react to like the first like 15 minutes of as long as like it gets posted on Twitter. Because yeah, it starts at 8:45, I think. So I think I actually will be able to see the first bit. Yeah, we'll see. It is what bugs me too is like people like being like, oh, why are you like criticizing them or something like that, like you're gonna kill their momentum. Ironically, like if they just listen to people who like were criticizing it, like actually giving like good criticism, I'm not saying like right wingers, but I'm saying like progressives who just want like change, right? If she just listened to them, like she actually probably would have won in a landslide and like actually got more momentum, because like obviously the liberals aren't going to change their mind, right? They're already like committed to voting for Kamala, you know. So obviously they're not going to change. And then like yeah, you get the progressives then as well, which I think people don't really realize. Because another thing I saw too is like, oh, like young men are becoming more conservative. I think that statistic is probably a little misleading, because like I'm sure there's also a lot of young men who don't want to vote because they're more progressive. I mean, maybe it is one of those like, do you identify as a Democrat or Republican? But even then, like that, if you're progressive, I feel like you would say you like identify as neither. You know, just how Democrats have been, like I don't think you would say you identify as either. Like obviously I'm gonna typically vote more for Democrats, but like would I align with their policies typically? Like probably not. Like that's the difference. Yeah, I think like with a lot of those, like if they're saying like who voted, like if they voted more Republican, like voted more Republican, I think that's a little misleading, because you know obviously there's people who don't vote, and we don't have a progressive candidate, so we don't really have a good idea of, oh, are they actually becoming more conservative or not? I mean, I think they are probably, just like with everything surrounding like what's been associated with like young men, and then like Trump just being like involved with a lot of it. Like I'm sure that's part of it, but like I'm sure it's like not as crazy as a switch as it seems. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that. Oh yeah, Vance also literally said like, don't make stories up if he has to. It's crazy how people are like, oh, he was president, how many rights he was. Like, first of all, that doesn't matter. He said like that he's going to take rights again. So like that's insane. That's an insane take to have. Yeah, also like Kamala as VP can't really do much. I mean, obviously her messaging can be different, right? But like her power, she's not the president. Basically, her only power is like having the tie-breaking vote in the Senate and also like being able to maybe influence the president. That's, I think, about it. I don't think the VP can really do much more than that. I'm just gonna look up powers of the vice president just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all she can do. Yeah, it seems like that's it. There's just the tie-breaking vote, and that's it. Yeah, they literally only can, they're like the president's primary advisor, and they can break a tie in the Senate. That's literally it. They have no other powers other than that. So yeah, it's also very stupid to say that. Actually, if it's gonna be anything like last debate, Sanj is gonna give a play-by-play the entire time. I feel like that's more enjoyable, honestly. Like, it was funny because I feel like he was like coaching Kamala like through it, which was like really funny. It's not also deep tweet in August is like he'll give the Dems an October surprise with war. Netanyahu. He tweeted, "Man, who could have seen this coming?" I mean, yeah, like, I think even if Biden was still doing what he was doing, if you just changed your messaging, like, then it would have been fine. The fact that they still haven't. I'm hoping maybe now, like, since this is the VP debate, is like a big time, like, they'll publicly change positions, but I am also, again, worried that, like, it's too little too late at this point. And, like, with how staunchly they've been against it, and it seems like that they don't care. Like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. As far as like her chances of winning, I don't know how much it's gonna help. I'll be honest. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
So you're watching YouTube, but did you know there's a YouTube Music app where you can listen to podcasts about popcorns, dark history? Listen for free on the YouTube Music app.
Yeah, here we go. Oh no, they used actors to say that they were Pennsylvania farmers and they switched. Oh no. How could they? Like, who cares, dude? Actually, who cares? Like, even if that happened the other end, I'd be like, alright. I mean, to be fair, I feel like it would have been expected with Republicans, but I mean, yeah, also someone did bring up a good point too with like, it's so much less for Democrats to have a scandal than Republicans. Like, Republicans basically have to say like Nazi stuff to even have like freaking it be a scandal, and even then, like it's still like, you know, sometimes that stuff still doesn't even get talked about all that much. It's crazy. Okay, I might not be able to catch anything what they're gonna say. Maybe like at the very end when I'm like outroing, I'm finally gonna see stuff, but yeah, because I'm just gonna end normal time. I just don't think there's any reason for me not to. Like, I guess I could react to it, but I feel like I'm not like the best person to just like give insight on it, because I assume Hassan's watching it. He's gonna be way better at that than I am. So yeah, it's also a school night for me. Although I mean, I think it only goes for like an hour and a half. But like, eh. I have to say, I do need to do like figure out something to like motivate me, because like a lot of stuff I have in my head is like super ambitious and like what I want to do. It's just I never want to do it. Like I don't have the motivation to do it. And it's like, oh, I'd rather be on my phone or something like that. And I gotta figure out like how to break out of that, man. I think what part of it is though is like, because like basically everything is a subscription service now, dude. Like, and I think like just only having the free versions of stuff, like it just discourages me. And like I think what I do need to see also is like what people can make with like a free version of something. And if it's like something like really good, then I think I'd be more willing to go at it. But like I don't, because like I'm just like, well, I can barely do anything with this. So I think I just honestly would probably need to see people make stuff like and make it really well on like free stuff. It's just so frustrating at this point that like everything's a subscription service, like everything is. Like I hate it. It sucks. You know, I also said too, because like I remember driving back home, me and my mom talked about stuff. It started from like grades. How it was like, I think we should have like the like 0 to 3 thing we had. Like rate yourself on 0 to 3 on how well you feel like you're doing. Because then like if you don't have like a grade and like, you know, it determines like where you do a thing or not, like you actually will be more motivated to want to like learn it and like work on it. Rather than just being like, oh, I got an A, yay. Like, because then you just want to put a 3 for everything, or like max score for everything, right? And then we got to talking about it later. I think a new collect my thoughts thing about oh yeah, how she was like, oh well, some people just like, you know, their brains just don't grasp like math or science or like art. And I was like, actually, they've come to find out with your brain, like you can actually learn anything. It's just some people it takes longer than others, or like a certain circumstance before they actually get it. And then I also expand on that by saying that I think honestly anybody could be as like knowledgeable as I am. And I think even Hassan kind of like tries to do this because he calls himself an idiot like a lot of times. Like, who says that? Because I think he's trying to say like, you know, he's not a smart guy, you know. It's just like he thinks about stuff, like he stops to think. But like I truly think anybody could be as knowledgeable as me, even like the average Trump supporter, right? They just need to take the time to stop and think and like fact check. And like I think also we've gotten to the point where like we've just kind of like brushed off fact checks at this point, which is really weird. I think it's just because like the Republicans lie so much at this point that like it just gets brushed off and like normalized, and it's like, yep, that's just how it is. But like I think people need to realize like remember like, hey, fact checking is like important. They're saying lies, like that's not good. You know, maybe go with the side that's like telling the truth and like who is like paying attention to how the world works, which is like looking at studies that are like, hey, this is how the world works. and then we form policy to like make our systems work around how the world works, you know. Now obviously they do have to like be willing to listen, which again for the average Trump supporter I'm sure is not very easy, like to get them to listen. But I do truly think if you just had those two things, like anyone can freaking like be as knowledgeable as I am. And like I'm not even super knowledgeable myself either. Like I really am not. Yeah. Oh, is this starting at 9? Okay, then yeah, I definitely wasn't gonna catch any of it. I was at 8:45. Yeah. Wait, is this starting? Oh no, okay, it does start at 9, so it doesn't start at 8:45. Okay. I wish I saw that. So then I would have just sat here on Twitter just going back to the same trendy things over and over again. And I would have just like stayed in my own bubble. Ah well. I mean, yeah, 8:45 was like a weird time anyway. Mom was just like, oh, I think I saw that on like the debate. I assume it was like the pre-show then or whatever they call it before the debate. That's like equivalent to a pre-show. I assume they were talking about when that started. Or maybe there was something else happening at 8:45, I don't know. Again, my mom just told me that like she saw it on her TV at work, so I have no idea. Yeah. I think it's like the first stream I didn't talk about Hololive at all. Like, in like a few weeks. It's been a minute. But yeah, I was just talking about politics all the time. Oh no, I think actually there was like another like stream recently where I just talked about politics the whole time also. And like political maps, stuff like that. I think there was another stream like that. So never mind. Yeah, we did hit an hour. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. And I don't know if I'm gonna watch the debate live. I'll probably just wait for like Hassan's highlight of it. And we'll go back to it. I'll probably see Hassan's like Twitter reactions too, because I also saw it to take a shower. So I also can't watch it because of that. So yeah. Other thing is all of the platforms are Will6464. So yeah. I will see you tomorrow where I'll hopefully talk about the debate. So yeah. See you then. Goodbye.